It's okay, man.
But you have to respect yourself.
Will you shut up?
Shut up and take him out. Smell him out. Smell him out. Look like a dog. Look at you. Food and 70. Food and 70. I've been a senator.
I take exception.
What do you mean?
A senator.
Why are you talking to me like that?
You are a disgrace to the Senate.
You are an insult to womanhood.
You are
an insult to womanhood. And you are here to tell the world that you are not changed.
You cannot
You are here to tell the world that you are not changed.
You are.
You are not changed.
You are a scoundrel.
I will not take it. So that is why you can never be here. People like you can never be here. People like you can never be here. How can you be?
Not a hooligan.
You are a hooligan.
You are a hooligan. So you will be.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
The Senate Committee Chair.
Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the
I will say I should keep my mouth shut. Who are you to say so?
Chairman.
Who are you to say so?
Chairman.
Who are you?
I ask to be put on.
Okay, officer.
I will refuse.
Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the committee. Mr. Chairman. Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the committee. Chairman of the committee. Hello. Chairman of the committee. Hello. Chairman of the committee. My distinguished colleagues and the petitioner and those who came to defend the petition.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was an open altercation between Senator Onyekachi Nwaebonyi, the senator representing Ebonyi North Central, and Dr. Oby Ezekwesili, former Minister of Education, former Minister of Solid Minerals, former due process mother, an alumni of the World Bank, a woman who had achieved so much despite all the challenges that face women towards rising to the top. That is the woman that Senator Onyekachi Nwaebonyi was talking to like that. And the lack of emotional intelligence, exhibited by the senator shows that there was nothing distinguished about his senatorial position, because he ought to have controlled his emotion. He ought to have behaved better, not only because Dr. Oby Ezekwesili, not only because of her antecedent, but also because of her age. And you can see how he was ridiculing the age 70 in a nation where the age of where people die so early, where the death rate is high because of poor medical facilities and all that. He was like calling her that she's a fool at 70. And what was the problem? The problem was that both of them were witnesses on the issue of sexual harassment allegation that was made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, the senator representing Kogi Central. That was the issue. Nwaebonyi was there as a witness for Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who Natasha alleged sexually harassed her. Natasha, the petitioner actually was Natasha, but Natasha was not allowed to have access to the National Assembly. So somebody petitioned on her behalf, and Senator and Dr. Ezekwesili was there as a witness. Of course, I don't know what the essence of Ezekwesili's presence there as a witness, because when you're talking about a witness, I don't know the role she was supposed to play there, because when you are talking about the sexual harassment, it's an allegation that involves two people and all that, but there must be a purpose why she was selected to be a witness in that particular occasion. Of course, her antecedent went before her. You know, she was a leader in the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. She had been frontal in several issues that concerns human rights, that concern issues of development, politics, and what have you. So she is somebody who is interested about the economic development of Nigeria, about the welfare of Nigerians, and about women empowerment and all that. And most women who understood the challenges that women pass through to get to the top are sympathetic to Senator Natasha, because they know what it takes to get to the top and how difficult it had been for women. So I was not surprised that she would be interested in the Natasha case, the way Natasha matter was handled or still being handled by the Senate, the lengthy suspension, 6 months, which has been condemned as unreasonable, as unfair, as unjust. So I believe that she was there because of all this interest, protecting the interest of the womanhood and protecting the interest of a Nigeria. I can tell you for free, if it was a man that was in the situation of Natasha, Oby Ezekwesili will also speak out. She will tweet about it, she will write about it, she will condemn it, and she will speak truth to power. That cannot be taken away from her. And I think that was the essence of her being there, to ensure that the right things was done, at least to bear witness. And she was a witness that there was apparently a miscarriage of justice. How do you set up a committee in which the principal character, you bar her from coming to the National Assembly? You stop her from coming to the National Assembly, that he cannot come, she cannot enter the National Assembly. So why did you then allow the sitting to take place? You know that the principal character, the real petitioner, the victim, alleged victim, Natasha, you will not allow her to enter the National Assembly. So when that person wrote a petition over the sexual harassment of Natasha, they would have told him ab initio that we cannot entertain your matter. You cannot petition. Because the person that petitioned was insisting that Natasha must be allowed to come to the National Assembly as the key witness of the allegation. So when they know that Natasha cannot be allowed, they would have disregarded that petitioner. They would have regarded it, because at the end of the day, the whole thing was a sham. Like somebody pointed out, I think it was the lawyer of the petitioner said that either the lawyer of the petitioner or so, one person pointed out that perhaps the Senate apparently allowed the man to get more information from him, to get more information from the petition, rather than in a quest to deliver justice. Because it was when they had gathered information from the petition, after accepting the petition, reading it and seeing what was there, they now realized that the matter was in court. But they ought to have known that the matter was in court before telling him to come. And all the Oby Ezekwesili and others who stood in for the minister, or who stood in for the suspended senator, went there. But Senator Nwaebonyi actually messed up the whole Senate, because when Oby Ezekwesili was reminding him that what he was doing was an embarrassment to the Senate, he was doubling down, trying to tell Nigerians the social stratification, that by social stratification he is higher than a minister. What is so special about being a senator in Nigeria today when you are not representing the people of Nigeria well? What is so distinguished about being a senator in Nigeria today? When Obasanjo is alleging that senators were collecting money to support the state of emergency in Rivers State, which they know was wrong, because if the state of emergency was right, why would you collect money, as Obasanjo alleged, in order to endorse it? Is it the Senate of this Senate that had allowed the president to get away with anything he wants? A rubber stamp Senate that everybody knows. So what is so special? What made people to feel is, I saw here how he was gesticulating and talking that's why you can't be here. I was telling Oby, that's why you cannot be here. How many of them can win free and fair election? How many of them went to that Senate in a free and fair election? How many of them? How many? If not that God is a merciful God, they can carry the Bible, carry the Quran, and swear that they have won election. If our God was a God that strikes people, if not that he's a merciful God, can many of them be able to carry the holy book, any of the holy books, and claim that they won the election? Many of them that are bragging that they are higher in social stratification, how many of them can truly, in sincerity, forget about what INEC had announced, what the appeal court announced? Forget it. So it cannot demean the achievements of Dr. Ezekwesili. Dr. Ezekwesili was the one that, through the due process, when she was Madam Due Process, brought transparency and accountability in the Nigerian system. Her contribution in education, in the solid minerals, in due process, accountability in government is still the benchmark that has yet to be surpassed by anybody in Nigeria today. So she's not somebody you can demean by telling her that she's nothing, that you are a senator and she was only a minister. Who does that? Who does that? What does being a senator mean? When the country is collapsing, when the country is going down the drain, and the Senate have not been able to call the executive to order. Tell me one thing that Tinubu had done, including the purchase of his presidential jet, including several other things he had done, that had been challenged by this Senate and say, Mr. President, you are going wrong here. All they do is talk about, generate some noise, and then you don't hear anything again. Before you know it, the bill is passed, the president signs it, and that's the end of the matter. So there's nothing that makes to be a senator an enviable position in Nigeria today, if senatorial position is for the service of the people. Because the 10th Senate has not served Nigerians well. They have no reason, no member of the Senate has a reason to be raising his shoulder that he's better than other Nigerians. Of course, there are many senators who have been able to distinguish themselves, especially when this issue of River State came out. Senators who were able to defend democracy, senators who were able to speak truth to power, senators like Enyi Nwaebonyi, senators like Siriake Dixon, senators like Tambawal, former governor of Sokoto State, and all that. But in general, the Senate has been a disappointment to the people of Nigeria, the 10th Senate. If the 9th Senate was a rubber stamp, the 10th Senate has been a rubber stamp raised to the power too. That is the truth. So anybody there lacks moral right to feel any superior to anybody. In any case, even by look at it this way. Nwaebonyi is an Igbo man, is an Igbo senator. Dr. Ezekwesili is an Igbo woman. They were there defending other people, fine and good. People outside their own ethnicity, fine and good. That showed Nigerianism in them. But by the Igbo tradition, in Igbo land, age is revered. By noting that Oby Ezekwesili, that's the saddest part of the whole thing, that Oby Ezekwesili was 70. That ought to have brought emotional intelligence to play a role in the response by Nwaebonyi. But he had to show, because he know that cameras were everywhere, he had to show the Senate President that he was ready to defend his interest, even at the cost of violating a cultural norm of his people, that age is revered. But to Nwaebonyi, the age of Oby Ezekwesili was immaterial. He must show his paymasters or his boss, the Senate President, that indeed, I'm here to defend your interests to the hill. I don't know what you think about Nwaebonyi's behavior, his reaction to Oby Ezekwesili. I know that some people say, oh, but why did Oby Ezekwesili tell him to shut up? Oby Ezekwesili was a visitor to the hallowed chamber. And the visitor ought to have received all the rights, all the respect, even when the visitor is wrong. So he ought to have been careful the way he responded, but he didn't respond well. He embarrassed himself and the Senate. Because at the end of the day, he has now been made to apologize, so to say. But there wouldn't have been anything to do that in a separate interview that I saw on TV. But that's how it is. But whatever is your position about the way Senator Nwaebonyi treated Oby Ezekwesili, but my position is that he was undistinguished. You know, senators like to be addressed as distinguished senator. He was undistinguished in his response to Oby Ezekwesili in this situation that we just saw and listened to. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are not to my channel or have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.